All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Tyler Marie, and this is Behind the Mic. Our first guest on this podcast is a lead singer and owner of her neo-soul and R&B band. She's a music major at UNT who also writes and composes her own music, and she's an artist that I actually instantly connected with on the stage. I was so connected that I was almost scared that it wasn't going to work out. But I have enjoyed connecting with her so much and working with her, creating with her, and collaborating with her. Welcome, Deyana Janae.
Hey, thank you so much for the warm welcome. I've had a great time working with you as well. This has been a really great experience, so I'm really excited to continue working with you.
Okay, so this podcast is really supposed to dive deep into artists. I always find myself just trying to get to know what is in the mind of artists. And so I'm very obsessed with it. And so I feel naturally that everyone must be as well. And so I'm here to kind of ask you some questions about who you are, what your background is, and really discover the love for art and try to get into your mind here. So
okay, all right. I'm excited.
Yay. So first question is, how did you discover your love for singing?
I discovered my love for singing through my grandmother. She used to, well, she still does, but she sings in church, and she would teach me these little songs, like little easy churchy songs, and she'd be like, all right, go up there and sing it. And I'd be like, I don't know, Grandma. But she always like saw, I guess, the artistry in me before even I knew it and my parents knew it. She was like, that's my singer right there, and she would just push me to do it. So I would even still say, like, right now, like, I think she's my main motivator for continuing on through this journey, because I'm just like, yeah, like, for my grandma, like, we're in this, we're locked in. Yeah.
I love that. How old were you?
The youngest I would say is probably like 4 or 5. But my first time like really like getting on the stage and taking it seriously, I was about like 12. I was 12. That was the first time I was on a real stage. So
obviously your grandma believed in you, but was it easy for you at that age? Do you remember?
No, it was not easy. I know, like, when I first like really started taking it seriously when I was 12, I had a friend, and she was like, y'all want to have a singing contest? And I was like, okay. And I heard her sing for the first time, and I was like, yo, I gotta step my game up. Like, that was beautiful. Like, I want to be able to like sing with her. And at that time I was really nervous, like, and not like fully confident in myself. But, you know, I just kept practicing every day, hours. I was like, okay, let me work on this note. Okay, let me take this line. All right, let me see if I can do it in my own way. So, and that's always been a part of me, is how can I elevate and make the song my own.
So many directions I can go with that. I mean, even that reaction, so that was innate in you. Some people can have a challenge and shrink, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about how you almost had an experience later. You talked about being on the stage. And is that moment when you were either 12 or 14?
Yeah, like when I just kind of got on to the stage and I was like, okay, God got me. Is that what you're referring to?
Well, you had talked about there being some sort of moment that switched to make you want to be a better performer as well.
It was probably that moment. I don't know if I mentioned the friend in the last time we talked about it.
What's cool, and the only reason I mention it is what's cool is I do think it was a different moment, which is a cool conversation to have, because I know that I do the same thing whenever there's like a moment of, okay, I'm going to grow. And I think like, okay, this is a big change or whatever.
Right.
I've actually already done that. I've consistently made a choice to rise to the occasion, essentially.
Right.
And
That's funny that you caught that, because I'm like, yeah, I guess I did have I had a couple moments like that where I'm like, yeah, I got to get better. I got to lock in.
Yeah.
But I will definitely say the story that I just told you, that is the one that's what really propelled everything for me. We were in like 6th grade or something like that. Yeah, because we were 12. And at the talent show, that was my first time like just doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was like, oh my God. And I was just
yeah,
like,
it was the talent show. That's what it was that you talked about last time.
Yes, it was the talent show. Yeah. I'm like, I'm glad we made it back.
We did.
But yeah, it was that talent show. And it was just such a good feeling. And when I finally did it, I was like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, this is me. This is Deyana Janae.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What about that moment made it feel like you?
Because I grew up like really shy, and I feel like that moment really helped me get out of my shell. And when I sung for the first time, it was like I had finally like found my voice and how I was going to represent myself. So I think, yeah, that's what it did for me mentally. I was just like, yeah, I'm a butterfly.
Okay. Describe more of this voice that you found. Like you said, a butterfly. How else would you describe who you are as an artist or a person or whatever you Yeah.
I will say when I was younger, my voice was stifled a lot. And I think that led to me outwardly in public being like conserved. And being on stage, I feel like that's the only time I could just be like who I am. And I think that is somebody that's a diva a little bit. She likes a little bit of attention, not gonna lie. And someone that wants to inspire other people with my voice, in the same way that I was inspired by my friend. Like, she sang and I was like, yeah, I gotta learn how to do this. And I don't know, I hope that whenever I'm singing and I'm on stage, I'm elevating someone else's spirit and they are being inspired to also like go out and sing or do whatever they want to do. Not even just what I'm doing, just I hope I'm inspiring. So yeah.
Aw, I love it. Do you feel like you're growing to be who you are on stage or vice versa?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. Okay. I think that maybe it's vice versa. Maybe I'm starting to bring out the person that I am inside onto the stage and then into the public. If I'm answering that correctly. Yeah. Okay.
I totally said vice versa because I could not formulate how to say it opposite in my head. So I'm glad that you got it.
But like, I'm like, we're locked in. I feel like, who is that girl I see? Anyway, I feel like the person on the inside is coming out more on stage. So, yeah.
Beautiful. What are the other steps that you took in order to get there?
I just practiced a lot.
Like how much?
I think when I was like that first talent show, I was practicing like every day for like 5 hours until I would literally sound exactly like the artist on the record. And I had to learn how to stop doing that and just make it my own. And in doing that, that's more practice. It's like, okay, I'm singing like, I'll say Ella Fitzgerald. let me see how Deyana Janae will sing it, and what notes I would change and what inflections I would do to make it my own and make it my signature, I guess. So it takes a lot of practice, and it takes a lot of me just getting out of my own way and just going on stage, because there was a period of time where I didn't go on stage for like 2 years. That was like during COVID, because I got insecure and I got like depressed, and I was like, no. But me being on stage and getting that practice, and every time that I'm up there, I get better at it. So it just, it just takes practice is my main thing that I'm saying.
Yeah, I get that. I am a dance teacher, and there's so much that I've learned from teaching other people. I mean, it's very established. They know how to teach people how to dance, right? So they train us to do the same.
Right.
And there's so much of just doing it.
Yeah. Literally, like, you just got to do it and jump out. And I know, like, to me, the analogy to me is like jumping off a cliff. It literally feels like that. Like, every time that I go on stage, I'm like hella nervous, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. And everyone around me is like, calm the F down. And I'm like, I'm trying. And then it's like right before you take that leap, you take a deep breath, and it's like, okay. And then you just do it and you just sing. So yeah, literally anything with talent and artistry and doing what you love to do is just taking that leap, and then you get better at it, and then all of a sudden you're a pro.
Yeah. But it takes a lot to take that leap.
It does.
Like mentally, especially because we're so scared of being who we are, and of making mistakes, of not being good enough.
And that feedback. Yeah.
But there's like a lot of mental that clearly that you have worked through, even though I don't know that you've worked through, but 5 hours a day when you're 12 is crazy work. And
it is a little, like, when I say it out loud, I'm like, that was a little intense. Like,
you're obsessed.
A little bit obsessed, just a tiny bit.